Spring hunts are finally here, which is one of my favorite hunts of the year, coming right up, spring bear hunting. So this video is gonna just basically walk through everything I carry in a truck when I'm going on spring bear hunts. As you can see, it's always a lot of gear, but I'd rather, be safe than sorry. So I do pack a lot of gear in these spring hunts because you never know what you're gonna get into. You have snow, you have fallen trees over the winter. You might go in somewhere, come back out, tree might fall down. You have to know how to get out safely so you can continue to hunt the whole time. So you don't get in a situation where you're like, oh shit, how do I get out of this situation? I don't have the right tools or necessary gear. There's obviously probably a lot more stuff I could bring, like an impact wrench and a bunch of sockets. I'm kind of, minimalist, but more like, how can I get my truck out of here? Or more importantly, a lot of times, how can I help someone else who might be stuck on the mountain and need to get towed out, or maybe they, went off the road or whatever. So this is basically everything that I do carry in my truck on a spring bear hunt. We'll start off some of these big items so I can get them moved out of the way. Obviously, I got a high lift jack here, so if I do get my truck stuck, or I'm hunting with my buddy in their truck or whatever it might be, I can actually jack my truck up, shove something underneath the tire, get myself centered again, get back on the road. And a lot of times, you can mount this in multiple different places on your truck. I hate moving this thing around because it's so heavy, but when I need it, I got it. So this is always in a truck, no matter spring hunt, fall hunt, whatever it may be. Always gonna want to have that. I also have one of these little plates on the bottom of it because if the ground's really soft or there's a bunch of snow, I need to try to jack my truck up for some reason, I can put this high jack on top of it to help support that. Along with those things, I always want to have a shovel. I have multiple shovels, as you see here when I get into their bag, but I like carrying a spade shovel and make sure it's beat up before you bring it out there. Plasky. So this is one of those things that I've always had for the longest time. You never know when you're going to need a Plasky. It doubles as an axe, have a little bit in the back to dig stuff out with, and it works. So I carry it with on all my spring bear hunts. Fuel, if you got a diesel vehicle, diesel can, or you might have a big gas can, at least 5 gallons of fuel, depending on how remote you might be. Obviously that's going to change, like I said, how deep you're going in the mountains, but you always want to have fuel. Never, again, for yourself or for someone else who might have ran out of fuel out in the mountains, you want to help them out. So have some extra fuel with you. And then you'll see here, I have a gas one as well. This will be filled up and utilized for my chainsaw. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the mountains and then used my chainsaw getting back out. That seems to happen more than getting in. Camped in some places in the mountains, got all the way back in there. As I came out, there was a bunch of trees down from the week I was out hunting. So chainsaw is essential. Just make sure it runs beforehand. I've gone through a couple hunts before where I actually got out there and realized that my carburetor was all gummed up and it was not fun trying to cut a bunch of trees down the road. Chainsaw, essential. Make sure I have a sharp blade, that sort of thing. In terms of towing stuff, I always have some extra shackles in my truck. I need to put them on. Uncharted supply. I have one of these smaller recovery straps. And I also have a little bit bigger one. Again, I don't know how bad someone else might be stuck or if I'm stuck myself. So one breaks, I got a backup. 2 is 1, 1 is none. Little tire inflator here. Got some extra P-cord here. This is definitely not something that you probably need all the time. But again, if I need to pull someone out, or someone needs to pull me out, I just have this 3-way hitch in the back. It's probably not the one I would use if I'm actually trailering something. So if I had a trailer, obviously I'd do something else, but I just carry this just in case I need to throw it in the back of my truck to help, like I said, pull someone out or have someone pull me out. You'll see here, I have chains for the front, chains for the back. Also make sure when you have chains that you're not borrowing from the buddy who has a totally different vehicle than you, totally different size tires and they don't fit. So make sure they fit. I definitely recommend having set for the front and set for the back. You're out there spring bear hunting, there's going to be snow. It's basically like a rough hunting conditions, so come prepared, have 2 sets. You never know when you're going to need them. Jumper cables should go without saying. Should always have jumper cables in your truck. First aid kit, just got this year. I've badly neglected not having a really good first aid kit in my truck. This is the First Aid Plus from Uncharted Supply. It's actually really waterproof, you can beat it up, but it just sits in my truck, has literally everything you could ever need, really well labeled in there. Highly recommend you get a first aid kit. You never know what could happen out there. Even if you're having a backpack hunt, have something in your truck when you get back. You never know when things are going to go wrong. Another really essential thing, I've had batteries die before all the time. I've had tires go flat. This is Uncharted Supply, the Zeus Air. It has a jump pack built into it, and it's a little air compressor so you actually can inflate your truck tires, and it has a bunch of other features too. So it's really handy. I really like this one too because it's small and compact. I was looking at these for a while. I would definitely not trust a bunch of the ones on Amazon. I've gone that route before. They break. I've never even got to use one, and by the time I needed to use it, it was actually broken. So spend money on a quality one. You'll thank yourself later. I do carry an extra like little foam glassing pad type thing, because you never know if I have to go underneath the truck, start wrenching on things, or trying to fix stuff. And I remembered when I got to the office today, I did forget a tarp, but usually I carry like a big 8x10 tarp. That way if it is wet on the ground, I can throw the tarp underneath my truck, and that way I don't have to get all my hunting clothes or my travel clothes dirty if I have to go underneath the truck to fix a bunch of stuff. A lot of this stuff will be inside my cab or in the back if I don't have room for boxes in the back, because maybe I'm hunting with 2 friends. We have a bunch of gear back here. I like to store a lot of this stuff in just like random little bags that I have sitting at home. So like all these things here can go inside a bag, inside my truck. That way if I have to move it around in the bed of the truck, really not going to take up a ton of space, because it's, you know, a lot smaller than like a big tote or something like that. I can fit in a little nook and cranny really easy. I have a lot of just ratchet straps. These are really unorganized right now, so you can tell I've been doing a lot of random stuff at home right now that I've been using my ratchet straps. But I have a ton of ratchet straps, at least like 4 to 6. You never know when you need them. They don't take up a lot of space. Garmin InReach. This is probably a thing that's obviously going to be with on all my hunts, but again, what if your truck breaks down? What if you can't get out? What if someone else is stuck? This way I can actually use this to you know, help message a buddy. It might be in the state I'm hunting, or maybe in my home state out spring bear hunting somewhere. Obviously it's not going to really happen too much in Nevada, but if you're one of those fortunate people who live in a state where you can spring bear hunt, you can message someone like, hey, come help, need fuel, something broke down, whatever it may be. Tube kit, fixing flat tires, use these all the time. Make sure if you have one of these and you've had some flats before, go through your tools, make sure you have everything you need in here. Make sure things like me living in Vegas a lot of times, some of this stuff blows up and I have to repair it. So obviously open everything up before you go spring bear hunting and double check that you're well supplied before you go. Inside this little bag here, so I've had this bag literally forever. It has a bunch of pockets on it. It's just like my go bag basically when I'm out hunting. Keeps kind of things a little bit out of the weather, but it would probably get soaked through. And this has a mess of junk inside here, all kind of randomly thrown in. A couple extra first aid kits, a little clotting sponge just in case. Toilet paper. Toilet paper in truck is always essential. You get to a trailhead spot you want to park, nature calls, or you know, maybe something happens again and you're hunting near your truck and you need to start a fire to stay warm. Truck breaks down, you know, got to make a fire. You're gonna wish you had some fire starter, so have one of these. I have a lighter that I actually took out of this for a film we did earlier today, so there's going to be a Bic lighter either in here, in my backpack, or in my truck, somewhere like that. Duct tape. This is actually Gorilla tape. Again, something breaks on your vehicle, you need to repair it, trekking pole breaks, come back, fix it. Backpack breaks, something breaks on your weapon, whatever it may be. You got to fix it so you can continue to hunt, so carry some duct tape. Along with a fuel canister over there, I have one of these little hoses that I mount on top of it so I can easily get it in any sort of truck. It's really small. This means I don't need to use a funnel. Really like this system a lot. Handsaw. Really nice having a handsaw in conjunction with everything else. I just keep everything all nice and organized right here. Just a little, you know, silky saw, works really well. Vice grips, crescent wrench, pliers. Gotta have it. Screwdriver. Flat Phillips, you can flip it around. Have a little hatchet here. Gonna need to, you know, hit something on my truck, fix it, cut some limbs in front of me that maybe a chainsaw can't get to, or I'm using a chainsaw, my buddy wants to use this, another buddy might use the handsaw if we need to get out, cut some trees down. Have all those means right there. Multiple different leather gloves, because again, if I get stuck and I'm the only one who has gloves, I don't want to be the only one working. I want Omar to be able to grab these gloves and also help us get unstuck as well. So I'll bring some extras. Ooh, hey, look, I have 3 pairs. So Joe who's filming this could also help get us unstuck. More P-cord, never know. Lantern, break stuff down at night, want to light it up. There should be a headlamp in here, brought that with today. Have another small little MSR shovel that you can kind of put together. I don't even know where I got this thing. It's the silliest looking knife ever, but it's really good for just random stuff around camp because I really don't care about it, so I'll smash it into whatever I need to do, trees, rocks, doesn't matter. Have that just in case. Hey, look, I got another one just sitting here. Extra stuff, you never know when you might need it. All sorts of straps, more straps, bungee cords. I got these little bungees for the chains on my truck. Just helps keeping things tight on there. So when I put the chains on, I can put these on that actually help compress the chain a little bit, make it a little bit more smoother ride. Leatherman, nice and handy as well. Another knife, I got a lot of knives. And last but not least, I do believe this is just I can't remember who gave me this for Christmas back in the day, but it's one of those like survival do-it-all things you probably found on some late night TV show. infomercial thing. It's got an emergency blanket. I don't know what this is. Looks like something to fix a tent pole maybe. It's got a flashlight, probably dead. Another knife. Compass looks like, a bunch of other stuff. It's like a little saw blade type thing, so you can go back and forth. Fire starter, carabiner, do it all multi-tool fishing line. There's actually a fishing hook in here. And a lure, so you actually can do some fishing. Break a window if I need to, pen, just like I said. Probably some late night infomercial. Someone bought this as a gift for me, which I'm thankful for. It's in my kit right here, but that's a million miles a minute, quick run through of spring hunting essentials when I'm going on a spring bear hunt. And again, this would probably be the same sort of kit I would take on a late season hunt in the fall, or even like an elk hunt in the fall. Just want to be prepared when you're out hunting. That's why I take a bunch of gear, because you never know when you're gonna get stuck. And I'd rather be hunting and get out quick than have to like sit there and wait and wish I had all this stuff with me. So I do think there's two pieces of gear in here that I say every year that I don't have. And those are those little track boards, like those 3 foot long, foot and a half, or foot wide boards. If I was stuck or whatever, I could put them underneath something and drive onto them to get through an area, or jack up my truck and put them underneath there to get some traction if I got high centered or whatever, or stuck in the mud. So maybe eventually, but I never have space for it too. Never really needed it, but again, I might someday. So let me know if you, if there's anything else major I'm missing. There's a lot of stuff, could carry some more, but if you have any really great suggestions, maybe I'll add them to my kit too, and hopefully this will help you out when you're kind of kitting out your truck for, spring bear hunt coming up. So best of luck.